What's up, guys? Here with that again. I'm back with another video. And today I want to talk about something that the majority of us flatbedders out here have to deal with. For some of us, it's a fear. For some of us, it's not that bad, but for all of us, it's a potential danger. And that is dealing with heights. We may have to climb up on top of our loads to tarp them, to secure them. More likely than not, at some point or another, you're going to need to climb up there to implement some type of corner guard protection, whether that's metal edge guards or plastic. Now, with that being the case, we always have to find a way up there. I've seen a lot of things in my time out on the road. I've seen guys climbing up on top of their loads to place their edge corner guards. That's dangerous. I've seen guys having to use wobbly ladders, myself included. I've seen guys have to use harnesses. If you're afraid of heights, all these things can affect you, and some of them are more risky than others, especially anytime you have to remove your feet from the ground to climb up on top of your trailer or your load. You're putting yourself at risk. Now, I have a tool that can help to mitigate that risk in a lot of scenarios, and that is my Mighty Products corner guard placement tool. And I'm going to show you guys why this tool is mandatory equipment for any flatbedder's loadout. Let's get to it. Now, if you're new to flatbedding, this is an edge protector, plastic variety. We put these on a lot of loads that are soft that we don't want to risk getting crushed, whether that's insulation, drywall, shingles. These go underneath our straps so we can protect that freight from the crushing pressure when we winch them down. Now, this corner guard protector placement tool was made with flatbedders in mind, because as I said, anytime your feet leave the ground, you're putting yourself at risk for falling. But also, aside from that, if the load is tall or if it's long, or I should say wide, your arms are not going to be able to reach everything. You know, you got a 13-foot high total load once it's on top of your trailer. You're not going to be able to reach out with your arms. I don't care how tall you are. I don't care how good of a jumper you are, nor should you try to do something like that. So what this pole is effectively an extension of your hand and your arm. So this gives drivers a smarter, safer, and easier way to reach those high loads, those wide loads, and keeping us from having to risk our hides, getting ourselves in compromised positions trying to place these things. Now, let's break down what makes this tool special. Firstly, when it's collapsed, it's about 4 feet long, and when you fully extend the pole, it goes up to 8 feet, and I think you can even get close to 9 feet if you include the head here. And with that much of an extension, you'll be able to reach the top of really any standard load that you're hauling on a flatbed. Secondly, it has these quick lock clamps, and I like that they're in this high visibility yellow. And these clamps here, they're tight. So when you extend the pole and you tighten the clamp down, you just lock it in. You don't have to worry, like if you have something like, well, edge protectors aren't really that heavy, but if you were to have something heavy, say like a realistic scenario that I would deal with, have the edge protector on here, and then you're trying to press up against the weight of the strap, like on a tall load, you're not gonna have to worry about the weight of the strap and the edge protector pressing this pole back down into the base. The clamps are tight, so it's not gonna move when you have the extension in there. It's gonna stay static, and you'll be able to press against it with a good amount of force. Another thing that is very handy about this that a lot of people won't really think about until they're experiencing it in the trenches, really, so to speak, these yellow foam grips along the pole, these are perfect for when you're dealing with cold weather, because this pole, I believe, is made from aluminum, and in the wintertime, the metal, of course, is going to get cold, and nobody wants to have anything cold in their hands when they're working in the snow. It's just going to make your hands hurt more. It's going to make you want to stop and get back in your truck and warm up even sooner, and you want to really get the job done as soon as possible so you don't have to linger out there too long. These come in handy for that. These will keep your hands from getting cold as quickly because it's giving you a barrier between your skin and the metal, in addition to the gloves that you should be wearing. And most importantly, in my opinion, this tool is durable. So it's made out of aluminum, and it's also coated so that it will be resistant to rust, corrosion, salt, road grime, anything that you would normally get on a tool like this. Since flatbedders, we work outside in the elements, this will last. The aluminum is strong and durable, so if you drop this on the ground, you don't have to worry about it cracking or shattering or getting bent out of condition from you just dropping it on the ground. Or if you placed it up against the side of your trailer and it tips over and falls on the ground, you don't have to worry about this thing getting destroyed off of like minor things like that. And that is something that we definitely need as people who use tools on a regular basis. We need tools that are strong and are going to last us for a long time, so we don't have to replace things frequently. And let me give you guys a full extension view of the placement tool. I'm going to scoot back from the camera a little bit because, like I said, this thing can extend all the way to 8 feet, and I hope that my camera can get the whole thing in frame. So let me see here. Got the first section out. Let me back up a little bit more. Hopefully this is doing it justice. Way out here like this, and put it next to myself here. I'm sure you can't see it all now with it standing vertically, but here, right there, this is more than enough distance to reach all the way across your load if it's something that's wide, and to reach all the way to the tippy top of it if it's something that's tall. Regardless of how tall you yourself are, you'll be able to reach whatever you need to reach with something like this. Now let's show this tool in practice. As you can see behind me, I have a load of insulation, and loads like this are soft, so I need to put edge protectors on there to protect the freight from crush damage when I winch down my straps. Needless to say, I am nowhere near tall enough to put my hand up there and place these manually. But the Mighty Products edge protector placement tool is exactly what I need. As you can see, this notch right here can fit my edge protector in like so. And then it extends to the height I need. Now, I'm a tall guy and I have long arms, but nowhere near long enough to deal with something like this. But this tool makes it extremely simple. Now, another convenient use that this edge protector has with this V-shaped piece here is that I can manipulate the position of the straps on the load. Now, if you see right there with this load of insulation, it's very important that I put my strap close to the front of it so that the wind resistance of me driving down the highway does not open that insulation up and make it fray as the speed picks up of the vehicle. Now, I can easily move the strap over without struggling because of the shape of that joint at the top. I can scoot it over right where I need it to be with no difficulty, no fumbling, and it makes things much more easy, much more convenient, and saves me time with my load securement. And of course, you know I've got to lock it down with my favorite ratcheting winch bar. You guys see me use it all the time. Mighty Products makes these too. Quick and easy. Gotta love it. The Mighty Products corner placement tool is good for tasks outside of just placing your edge protectors. As you can see, I have a load of rebar right here. Now I need to put choke straps on this to squeeze the bundles of rebar closer together. Now without a tool like this, I would have to climb up on the load and thread it through by hand. Now that adds risk to me because climbing on top of the trailer, I can get my feet caught, I could slip, anything could happen, I could fall off and hurt myself. Using a tool like this, I can keep my feet planted safely on the ground and mitigate that risk and not have to worry about injuring myself. So this extends all the way up to 8 feet, which is right around the same width of my trailer. I'll show you guys how easily you can go ahead and get that task completed. Just threading the strap like so. And there we are. Now I can just go to the other side of the trailer, throw it over, winch it down, and I'm done. All right, guys, so to wrap things up, I think that the Mighty Products corner guard placement tool is awesome. It is lightweight, it's durable, and it's something that will help drivers like us stay safe, because we don't have to worry about risking our lives and our safety climbing up on top of loads or getting ourselves into tough positions that you know you don't want to be in. We can stay right on the ground where we need to be and use our tools to make our jobs easier. Work smarter, not harder, right? Now, if you are interested in purchasing something like this for yourself, I will leave a link in the description of the video here to where you can find one of these on Mighty Products website. And if you're trying to save a little bit of money along the way, you can use my discount code TAKE10 to get yourself a little bit of a discount on your purchase. I highly recommend this to any flatbedder. A tool like this, like I said, because your life can change in a split second if you hurt yourself. You climb up on top of something, lose your footing, you know, slip on some ice or whatever you're climbing. So I highly recommend you do what you need to do to protect yourself during this, doing this job, because you know, we're out here to make money, not get hurt. Stay safe, guys. And if this review has helped you, make sure that you click the like button and share. You know, if this video would be helpful to anybody else you know that's out there flatbedding and is looking to get their load out correct to have the easiest time doing this job, guys. But until the next time, I appreciate you all watching. Like always, I'll see you in the next one. Here it out.